There's a lot at stake here on this table, just like Indian sports this year. We're starting off with the Women's World Cup, then India's men's white tour to England, then the Commonwealth Games, the Asian Games, and also qualifications in Doha for the Olympics for shooters. How are you assessing this year? It's going to be incredibly important.
Absolutely correct, and we can add two major events there as well. We can add the Hockey World Cup for both men and women in August in Belgium and Netherlands, and we've already won the men's T20 World Cup, so that's also part of this year. But massive year. Look, when you have two multidiscipline games in 1 year, I know Glasgow is a curtailed one, but in terms of weightlifting, for example, in terms of boxing, in terms of track. So let me give you two athletes. What does a Neeraj Chopra do? Does he participate in the Diamond League? Does he participate in the CWG? Does he participate also in the Asian Games? Is it possible for a Neeraj Chopra to peak 3 times between end July and September end? What does a Mirabai Chanu do? Mirabai Chanu, who Dinshaw Padiwala told both of us at the Trailblazers conclave, is completely injury-free. So Mira is at her absolute best. She broke her record. Now, does Mira push for the CWG, or does Mira push for the Asian Games, or both? Is it possible? Because the Asian Games is the only medal that is missing from Mirabai Chanu's repertoire. Now the point is, this is a huge year. What does the hockey team do? Mansukh Mandavia had a meeting on that. Sources there said to our correspondent Rohit Juglan that there will be 2 teams. That is something that Dilip Tirki has been telling us all along. Now, which team will have more meat? Should we send the team to the Asian Games? Because if you win the Asian Games gold, you qualify for LA. And the moment you qualify for LA, you can have that whole run for the next 18-20 months to prepare for the Olympic Games. Or do you want a World Cup medal? Do you send a team to the Netherlands and Belgium under Sjoerd Marina? The women's team has also qualified now. So what do you do with the women's team? Because again, China is still, I think, ahead of us as far as the Asian Games. So incredibly important here. Shooting, you very rightly mentioned Doha. I think it's between the 3rd and the 16th of November in Qatar. By then the war should all get done and there should be peace, hopefully. So the Doha World Championship, according to me, will go ahead. And Olympic berths are at stake, quotas are at stake. And look at Indian shooting. Anywhere between, people of the ages of 15 to 22, 23, incredible, absolutely incredible. So tremendous. Plus you now have badminton. You add the Asian Games and you have an Ayush Shetty coming up. You have a Lakshya Thomas Cup, absolutely. India won the top. I think Thomas Cup was the defining moment in Indian badminton in 2022, also for me, because that was the first interview that I did after the ban was announced, H.S. Pranoy, and I'm always going to be grateful to Pranoy for that interview. I called him and he said, "Sir, now." He had just won that match. India had won that Thomas Cup. I was traveling. I was actually in Dubai when India won. I had landed in Dubai, went to the hotel, and I called Pranoy. Gopi had set it up for me. And I said, "Can we do this?" He said, "Now." So for me, the Thomas Cup has incredible significance. So yes, Gargi, you're absolutely right. Keeping one eye always on the 28 Olympic cycle.
Absolutely.
This is massive. And Olympic cycle, not just for Olympic sport. Now it's cricket.
Now it's cricket as well.
Correct.
So it's, all sports are now equally important. It's not as if it's only multi-sport that we're looking at, apart from cricket, that, we've got to get the Olympics medal. Now, cricket has a huge chance. So one more gold that we can aspire to.
Yes, indeed. In the men's, I'm not so sure about the women yet.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why we will have to see what happens in England. But a medal. So I don't know if, the current, say, Harmanpreet or Smriti or whoever captains. Indian players on the podium for both men and women at the LA Games will be something fantastic. For 2 medals at the Olympic Games. I
did ask Pratika Rawal in our conclave about this, and she said everyone's really excited because Olympics is something everyone dreams of, but for cricket, that has finally become a reality. And
True.
it's going to be incredible to see the cricketers on the podium.
True. Roger Federer has always said that one medal that he badly misses is the singles Olympics gold. He has won the doubles with Stan Wawrinka and at our cost. Leander and Mahesh were one of the teams they beat in Beijing. But Roger didn't win that. And I watched Roger play that incredible match in the Wimbledon because the tennis for London 2012 happened there. I watched Del Potro win that incredible match. So Olympics will be a very different emotion.
Absolutely.
In fact, I wouldn't be wrong if I argue that the T20 World Cup in 28 will be less important than the Olympic gold.
Could very well be. And you know, when it comes to cricket, we're used to hearing the national anthem at the beginning of the game, but it's going to evoke some different emotions when it happens at the end of the game. That will be incredible to watch.
Yeah, and imagine the tricolour going up, and I don't know if Surya or whoever, and Gautam or whoever. I think Gautam will make a pitch to stay on till 28. Gautam, you do that.
Yes. And let's go through all of the events one by one, starting with the Women's World Cup. How are you looking at the team's chances?
See, first things first, I think it is absolutely essential from a media standpoint to give the Women's World Cup the kind of coverage and support that the Men's World Cup got. You were there, you covered the Men's World Cup, so you know that how difficult it was even for all accredited journalists to get a seat.
Yes.
Because there was way too much demand. I would want the Indian media to back the women's game with equal verve. I'm conscious of the fact that it's England.
Yes.
I'm conscious of the fact that the war has seriously impacted finances. At the same time, back it. We at Revsportz will perhaps back the Women's World Cup much more than we back the men's series, because in terms of significance, I think the Women's World Cup holds way more significance for me. So, massive tournament. Can India make winning a habit? I still am not convinced with this format. But what we saw in, say, in recent times, last year, for example, in summer, we won both our series in England. We won the ODIs, we won the T20s. And it was a great tour. That kind of build momentum for the World Cup win at home. Recent times, Australia, we have to see what happens. Test match at Lord's would be absolutely historic after the World Cup. More recent times, Amol Mazumdar in an interview to me said, red ball is red ball, and his eyes lit up, that red ball at Lord's for the team. India did not do too well in Australia. So these couple of months, starting with South Africa and going straight up to the 14th of July, 13th is when the World Cup ends, will be massive 2 months for the women's game. Look, people will be very quick to pounce and say the World Cup was a fluke. You don't want that. You want consolidation. You want India to at least make the semi-final, at least make the final. Make a statement. You would want your stars to stand up. Great opportunity.
Next, India's men's tour of England. Now, this is a white ball tour. T20 World Cup is done and dusted, but all the attention will be on the ODI matches. 5 ODI matches over there. 3 ODI matches and 5 T20Is, but it will be important for Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma, 2 names that will possibly steal all the spotlight there in terms of how they're performing. All the conversations will be around them.
Agree. I would want to see a Vaibhav Suryavanshi make the cut for the Ireland tour. Ooh. I would want to see a Priyansh Arya make the cut. I don't want a Surya Kumar Yadav, for example, to lead India and Ireland. Surya has nothing to prove. Surya can play England. You can send 2 Indian teams. You can send 2 Indian, much like Asian Games that hockey is doing.
Yes.
You can send a team to Ireland and Zimbabwe that is different from the team that plays in England. You have enough talent.
Absolutely.
So blood your Vaibhav Suryavanshi, blood a Priyansh Arya, get Shreyas Iyer can, whatever. I mean, get your players in. So England, you are spot on. The 3 ODIs, 14th, 17th and 19th, Birmingham, Cardiff and Lord's. The Lord's game is on the same day as the World Cup final, but for Football World Cup final, we did not even mention FIFA because India is not there.
Right.
But on the 19th of July, Rohit and Virat for the last time at Lord's could be an absolute spectacle. From an Indian standpoint, by the way, tickets are all sold out. Tickets are all sold out. It will be crazy in central London around St. John's Wood when all of India would want to go there. So yeah, massive series, and it will give you a bit of an idea because World Cup will be exactly 1 year away, 1 year, 2 months away.
Yeah.
So it'll give you an idea where these legends stand, what is Gautam's thinking for the World Cup, because now with that England white ball 50 over series, the World Cup preparation will start in earnest.
Right after that is the Commonwealth Games, a much smaller version of it, but Commonwealth Games is important. It's a stepping stone to the Asian Games. But now the kind of evolution that we've seen in Indian athletics, especially with the Mondo track at JLN, which of these disciplines have you seen evolve the most in the last 5 years?
See, I am still in search of that Indian guy who will run a sub 10 100. I've not seen, I mean, this current crop of, Animesh, all of these fellows, all of them, Gurinder Veer, Animesh, they are doing around 10-18, 10-20.
Yes.
Can they kind of, James Hillier is very confident that it will come down to a sub 10. The day an Indian does a sub 10, it will be revolution. I'm very, very keen. You know, Commonwealth Games, people in one instant blast it saying, it's a bad competition. Not all events are bad.
Right.
Like an Anju Bobby George makes this point very eloquently, that take long jump, it is as good as a world championship. It is as good as an Olympic game. So can a Murli Sri Shankar jump an 825? Can he jump an 830? Can his comeback get complete? Can a Neeraj Chopra throw a 90 plus again and beat Arshad Nadeem? Remember Birmingham, Arshad threw a 90-17. So there are some events which will be incredibly competitive.
Sherry Singh, Niharika Vashisht.
All of them, all of them. I mean, these athletes, Sachin Yadav, will Sachin Yadav be able to kind of do 90? Adil keeps talking about Sachin Yadav. So it will give you an idea where India stands for the Asian Games. And the other event where I am very keen on watching, in recent times, our women boxers did very well in Mongolia. Will boxing turn a new leaf? Because look, you have Australians, you have Irish, you have the Brits, you have the Canadians, you have the South Africans. These are strong. Will there be a swimming medal? Or Australia, South Africa will sweep the pool and there will be no swimming medal. So there will be a lot at Glasgow. And why is this Commonwealth Games so significant for India? Because we are hosting Ahmedabad. We are the ones who are going to host the Centenary Games 4 years from now. So we will take the flag, the baton, and come back to India. So all of these things, look, I understand that from the perspective of the Commonwealth, the games are way more significant, because that is now giving the Commonwealth an identity that it is otherwise lacking, political identity. So the games are significant. I understand Glasgow is curtailed, but at the same time, there will be some. So 3 sports for me: track, boxing, overall, track and field, boxing, and weightlifting should give India maximum medals at the Commonwealth Games.
All right. Then in August, we have the Hockey World Cup. Now, even the men's team in the recent past have felt the ebbs and flows of the game. You know, it's not been all rosy for the Indian team. How are you looking at it? And in the women's team will have to make a major comeback.
True. I was very impressed with the women's team in Telangana, the way they qualified. That it was a bit of a unexpected one for me, with the 1 month training period that Shard Marina got.
Yes.
Having said that, I think India will send its second best team to the World Cup for men. Because for India, Asian Games gold will be more important for Olympic qualification. Having said that, this is where the impact of the Hockey India League will be felt. Do you have, much like cricket, another 15 that you can send to the World Cup which can stay competitive? Do you have the physical agility, the mental potential, and all of that? Craig Fulton will be on test. Can you prepare 2 teams? Some players can indeed overlap or will overlap, but not all. So can you peak twice in 45 days? Remember, I spoke to Jarmanpreet Singh. He said to me, yes, we can. Hardik Singh said, yes, we can. No team has done that. It's our chance. So can India try and script history there? The Hockey World Cup would be an incredible tournament.
We love the positivity and the confidence that the 2 teams have at this point. And it seems like Surd has brought this surge of positivity. He has brought this new surge of confidence in the team, and it's looking a lot it's almost as if we've seen a 180 turn in the women's
team. The dressing room is united.
Yes.
People are no longer bitching about each other and doing things which fracture unity and stuff like that, which was happening, unfortunately, under Harinder. So that's not happening anymore. Hockey India has thrown its weight behind. But all of this, Gargi, the crescendo for this year is the Asian Games.
Which is next.
Correct. So Asian Games in Japan will also have cricket. And it will be another India-Pakistan. Will India send a top team? At the same time, West Indies will be playing here. I think India will. I think you will see that series, India's premier team going to the Asian Games and your second team playing against the West Indies. Because Asian Games as a multi-discipline will catapult you to LA.
Right.
So Asian Games will be massive. Will it be 100 medals? The format is somewhat different. The qualification is somewhat different. You will struggle to get to 100 medals. So इस बार 100 पार का जो slogan था. But shooting,
how realistic is it, do you think?
We'll get close. Two disciplines. I'm backing 25 medals in shooting and I'm backing 25 in athletics. If that happens, then we'll get close.
And who are the athletes that are sticking out to you at this point?
In shooting, a lot of them are Aishwari Pratap Tomar, Rudransh Patil, all your, Inder Singh Suruchi, a lot of them. I mean, this Indian shooting crop, usual Manu Bhakar and all, even Esha Singh, Riddhim Sangwan, all of them. Swapnil might not even qualify. So we will have to see who are based on the rankings. It is so competitive, right?
Shooting's always been.
10 meter, both pistol and this thing, 25, rifle and pistol. India has enormous talent. So these two, I expect a hockey gold from men. I expect big medals from archery. I expect medals from badminton. I would want Satvik and Chirag. Can they take the Koreans on? So there will be Asian Games. You expect people from water sport, from rowing. You expect a good crop there. Tennis. We'll have to wait and see whether we get, because last time you remember that Rohan Bopanna gold that Trisha and Rohan had covered was outstanding. So we'll see, but the Asian Games will be tremendous. And not to forget the Asian Para Games. I'm definitely predicting 100 plus medals.
Oh, lovely. That'll be incredible to watch. And finally, the Doha qualifications.
Yeah, and again, for me, an Olympic quota is as important as an Asian Games gold because that sets you up for LA. Can India get the maximum number? Can shooting translate into 5-6 medals? I keep asking Kalikesh that question every time. He is confident. The Shooting Federation has done a great job. The junior coaching program is strong. The senior coaching program is strong. You are seeing India's second crop do medals at the World Cups these days. So you are absolutely certain of winning medals. How many quotas will you get? Because see, the moment, it's like the Olympic quota with hockey. The moment you win a quota, that pressure is off. That pressure is off you. You know, okay, this job is done. Doha will be extremely competitive because all countries will be there with that Olympic quota. So, but I do give India a major chance.
And it's truly a multidiscipline year for Indian sports. Just like how things are here at the Joyville facility. You've got the games room, you've got the gym, the pool, you have everything here. Yeah,
it's a beautiful facility. We said it on one of our earlier shows, the kind of green that we have around the approachway. 2,000 plus families are already living in this facility. So at Hadapsar, Pune, the Joyville Annex, CEO Sriram Mahadevan tells me 2,000 plus families are, so clearly people love it. And when we came here, we absolutely found it amazing. The cafe downstairs, the gym, the indoor games here, the pool, the restaurant, the amount of facilities here, it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Well, that brings us to the end of the show. Thank you so much everyone for joining and thank you to Shapoorji Palonji for hosting us here in Pune at the Joyville facility. We'll be back very soon.